The Blackhawks lost, chat. We are contractually obligated to talk about it, so we're going to. So join us next on CHGO Blackhawks. Happy Saturday night. Welcome into the CHGO Blackhawks postgame show presented by Bet365. Download the Bet365 app. Use our code CHGO365 when you sign up. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Blackhawks lost tonight 6-0 to the LA Kings. And you know what?
If I could fart into this microphone, I would.
You could try.
No, it's not sanitary.
Better,
but that's how this game felt. That's how this game felt.
I just
this game doesn't deserve the smelling salts.
Everyone, Clout wants me to get mad. I'm not mad.
Get mad, Jay. Flip the table.
Sometimes games like this happen, and I don't know. The first period they played really well. They were in control of the game, and then came out in a second flat as always, and it's been an issue that they've had all season long. They've got to get that fixed, and then once it's 3-0. It got away from. Nothing was working for them tonight. Every pass was a little bit off. Shots that good scoring chances were shot wide. They turned a puck over too many times. Just the intensity we're used to seeing from the Blackhawks was not there for the last 40 minutes. Kaylee Chelio said after the second they just looked tired. They did look tired. They shouldn't be tired. They are pro athletes. They should not be tired. But to me, this is one of those games where you just say, 2-0, 6-0. It didn't matter. They just did not have their A game tonight. The LA Kings, when they get a lead, it's shut down. And I think this is one of the things that I want to see the Hawks learn is like, you've got to keep sticking to your structure even when things are not going well. You cannot get flustered because you're down 2-0 or 3-0, because what the Hawks do in that situation is they overcomplicate. They then, which has already been a problem of theirs, where they try to be too cute, extra pass here or there, even when things are going well. When they're losing, it's even more amplified, and every shot attempt is 3 or 4 extra passes. It's okay. It's gonna be fine. It's a young team. There's nothing to be. I mean, is it frustrating as hell? Yes, but this is not a game where I'm gonna lose my crap over it. It would not be genuine, and it's not. I don't think it's needed. It's just one of those nights.
I was angry with the Buffalo loss, the 9-3 game.
Yeah.
This one, I'm disappointed in the execution, but I'm not angry. In the grand scheme of things, you've gone, aggregate score. You lost 7-2 to the Kings over 2 games, but you went 1-1.
Yeah.
Like that's. For a Kings team that is still a playoff caliber team, we talked about it in the pregame. Like they are a structured team, they are a hard team to play against. They stayed within it, and like you said, when the Hawks are trying to chase a game against a team like the Kings, like it's almost like like a counterpuncher in boxing. Like what made Floyd Mayweather so good is that you couldn't hit him, so then you got mad that you couldn't hit him, so you tried to hit him more. And then he was able to slip and score and not knock guys out, but win boxing matches that way. And the Kings were able to do that tonight. Every time the Hawks got some momentum, which was rare tonight, but when they strung some good plays together, the Kings were there to play defense and counterattack off of it. And the second and third period, the floodgates just opened. And for a team like the Kings, like the storyline has been their lack of goals, their lack of scoring offensively, but they're still talented enough that like once they can feel like they can get into the flow of a game and get things going, they can stack goals. And obviously that's what happened tonight. And Darren Pang said it on the broadcast, like this was Kings team playing playoff hockey. And the Blackhawks, like they're in the playoff picture, they're in the hunt. But this is a lesson in what playoff hockey is going to be like. And when they are playing games that matter down the stretch this season, games late February, March, April, that, I think we've been hoping for them to do and what looks like they're on track to do. That's what these games are going to feel like. So we've heard the from Jeff Blashill, the idea like, okay, if you don't have your A game, you need to be able to win with your B game or at least be competitive. Like this was a game where too many guys didn't have their A game and the B game wasn't good enough. And that's something that you're going to have to, with a young team like this, that B game effort is something that those guys are going to have to figure out how to at least make the most out of if you're not going with your best game.
Well, look, we knew that this season when the Hawks decided to go very young, and maybe even younger as the season goes on, there were going to be games where hard lessons were learned. And I think this is one of them. And they have had this lesson a handful of times this year. And look, we saw it in the 2-1 win over the Kings, where every now and again, the Hawks would just completely lose their structure. And Spencer Knight in that game was able to bail them out. He was able to make impossible saves that he probably shouldn't have made to keep them ahead in the game and to get the win. But these are the expected lessons for a young team. And the fact that regardless of tonight's result, they're still in playoff position as of this moment. Mm-hmm. They are overachieving everyone's expectation. And I think, you can look at the final score, and I'm sure there will be the athletic power ranking people that will circle this one and highlight and said, see, we told you so, we told you so. But if you watch the first 20 minutes of this game, you saw a Blackhawks team that was firmly in control. They just weren't able to get a lead. And by the way, let's give a little bit of credit here to Darcy Kemper, who is awesome, really, in both games against the Hawks. Yeah. He was outstanding. And then the Kings, you said it during the game, once they got the lead, once it's 2-0, it is shut down. They are shutting that crap down. You are not getting a chance. They don't care if they're boring. They want points. They weren't boring tonight, but they were incredibly well structured. Every lane was jammed. I said to you during the game ago, every time I feel like the puck's going to go the Hawks' way, like, oh, they might have a breakout here. There's a King standing there in perfect position. Veteran team, disciplined team with a winning pedigree in their recent past, not Stanley Cups in a recent past, but they've been a good playoff team for the last couple of years. That's the difference between veteran discipline and young team learning. But right now, I think if these two teams played a 7-game series, it would probably go 6 or 7, because I think they're pretty well matched up. Good job, everybody. They're pretty well. I think they're pretty even despite the score of this game. We've seen them play even most of the time.
Yeah, I think the series scheduling that this little mini two game series was, I mean, you could see this, like you said, you could see these two teams kind of flowing back and forth. And when you have a setup like this where it's 2 games against the same opponent, the team that loses has something to prove in the next game and has more to work on than the team that wins. Even though, the Blackhawks won the game and played essentially the same lineup minus Tavo, like there wasn't really much for them to change, where the Kings, like, they could go right back to the drawing board and be like, this is exactly what we need to change.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably plays a factor in the execution tonight. Now, could that be something on the coaching staff? Maybe. But I think when you're coming off a win, you don't really think that you have to change much. And I think if these teams were to line up for a couple more games, the games 3 and 4 or whatever, they would look different in each game. But I think tonight, like, you kind of get roughed up. Like, honestly, you get roughed up by the Kings, and you have the back-to-backs now. Now it's not like, as you were mentioning, Kaylee said on the broadcast, like, oh, they look tired. Well, okay, well,
you got a game tomorrow.
This is technically night 1 of back-to-backs now. Even though you played the same team twice in a row, there was a day off in between. So
going from hours to your next game.
Going from LA to Anaheim is not a ton of travel. but it is still 2 games in a row. So they're going to really have to find their legs for that Ducks game, because that's going to be a Ducks team that is extremely motivated given the last time that these two teams played and how things played out.
Yeah, and I think the Hawks will be motivated to bounce back from this performance. And there have been a few times this year where they've had really bad games, and I'm trying to think back to the schedule. After that Buffalo game, we kind of were like, is this gonna completely sink the Hawks schedule?
After the Buffalo game, wasn't the next game the Avs game?
I'm looking right now. I want to make sure I don't want to misspeak.
I think that Avs game was like close to the Buffalo game.
Can you just, NHL.com, can you just give me a list of the schedule? I don't need to go month by month. No one wants this, bro. Oh my God, it's so annoying. It's just so hard to find anything on NHL.com. Yes, the game after the Buffalo game was the Colorado game.
Yeah, okay.
Yes. So a good bounce back after a putrid performance. Now, they had a day in between, but it wasn't like it was 2 or 3 days in between to go fix everything.
And that Avs game was at home too.
Yeah. I expect a better performance. I better be.
It better be. Yeah.
But they got to be ready to go tomorrow. And one of the benefits of being a young team is that it doesn't take them as long to bounce back after a grueling game where you got your ass kicked. They should be able to find the energy for tomorrow. Hopefully Teuvo Teravainen can go, which will be helpful. To me, this is one you just ball it up, throw it away.
I think you still take away lessons from it. Like, you can't just completely wipe it and say nope, just a flush thing. But I think there's some lessons to learn from it, and for me, the biggest takeaway is just I know we've kind of touched on it, but like not being too cute. And I think when you try and get too cute, I think you string together too many plays where you're missing passes and you're not playing enough north-south hockey. And in a game like this, like that's when you have to get back down to basics and simplifying things. And when you're having a rough night, stringing together passes and getting possession, you just have to get down to simplifying it, especially against a Kings team. When they're playing structured like this, you have to simplify it. And I feel like they didn't get down to that. And then when they're chasing the game, it's hard. It's hard to fight back like that.
Darren Pang said there were 2 things he wants to take away from this game at the end. He said the entries on the power play have to be better. This has been something we've been
putrid tonight.
Not B-wording about, but complaining about all season. Is even though the power play is like 28% over the last little bit here, it's been doing really, really well. It's been converting. You have to adapt your game to the opponent. I know we play our system. That's what we do, but you're not going to be able to weave through, 4 LA Kings.
Yeah.
It's just not going to happen. So you've got to be able to adjust. And today I saw a frustrating level of commitment to just not carrying the puck into the zone. The couple times they did, they got set up and they generated some nice. I think it was that first power play where Bertuzzi tried to hit Bedard on the doorstep.
Yeah. And
it just kind of fluttered away. They had a couple nice looks there, shots wide. Once they get set up, the power play looks really, really good because you've got Levshunov, who's really good holding the puck in the zone, and you've got Bertuzzi, who's awesome in front, and obviously with Bedard's shot and vision and everything, it works. The power play works, but it just hasn't gotten set up. And I know we're up against the break zone here, but I want to definitely spend some time talking about Sam Rinzel because I think we are at a bit of a crossroads with Sam here. The minutes are way down. The performance, not great. So not to overreact to one loss, but I think we have a little bit of a sample size here in a row where we need to have a conversation about Sam Rinzel. And we're going to make sure you get your votes in for our game pucks today. I voted for Oliver Moore, who I just thought was shot out of a cannon the entire night. No one was really great, but that was a guy I saw engaged for 60 minutes, really even late in the game, down 5, down 6, crashing into corners, trying to steal pucks, trying to do whatever he could to make things happen. Had a couple nice offensive looks as well, so Oliver Moore gets my vote for game puck.
I went with Louis Crevier because he was the least bad, I think, of the defensemen tonight, and had a couple when the offense wasn't getting generated, the simplest thing, as I was just talking about, was just fire the puck on net with traffic, and it seemed like he had that mentality, even though not a lot of them got to the net, but you're trying.
Yeah.
And you're trying to play it simply that way. So I went to Louis Crevier.
All right. Get your votes in.
In a 6-0 game where you lose, there's not a lot of options.
No, there are not.
Yeah.
So get your votes in. We'll reveal the winner at the end of the show. We are going to the break zone. Before we do, hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed. We'll talk to you in 2 minutes on CHGO Blackhawks. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. And new customers now get $150 in bonus bets when they bet 5, win, or lose. And with their football early payout offer, you're a winner if your football squadron goes up by 17 points with an instant payout on straight bets and parlay selections marked as winners. So download the app, use our code CHGO365 when you sign up. It's a great deal. And you could use those bonus bets, by the way, that you win. They can be used on the spread, total, player props, futures, more. Whatever you're looking for, whatever the moment. It's never ordinary at Bet365. Again, deposit $10, place a bet for 5 to get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. Must be 21 plus. If you or somebody you know has a problem with gambling, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER. And a reminder that this offer is in-app only.
It's wet and cold outside, which means it's boot weather. And if you're looking for a good pair of boots, check out Brunt. Brunt's best-selling Marin work boots are not only built for the toughest job sites, they're completely waterproof. Whether it's rain, mud, or standing water, your feet are going to stay dry. And Brunt isn't just about work boots. They offer a full range of high-performance gear built for tough jobs. From heavy-duty work pants to weather-resistant jackets, Brunt designs durable, reliable workwear to keep you protected and productive in any condition. All of Brunt's boots, by the way, carry the names of real workers in the trades who test and inspire them. With the temperatures dropping and the holidays coming up, it's time to treat yourself and the hard worker in your life to real comfort. Skip the throwaway gifts and get them something built to last. Brunt workwear. Our listeners can get $10 off of their entire order with the code CHGO at checkout. That's bruntworkwear.com with the code CHGO. Order today and let them know you heard it here on this wonderful show.
All right, welcome back to CHGO Blackhawks, and now we are going to take the temp presented by our friends at Four Seasons. You know what? You're going to need your furnace.
The temperature is low.
Checked. And I think, is it getting to be, it's going to be really cold soon. I think I saw that.
I mean, it's been really cold last
But I mean, like,
days.
really, really, like, go start your car a couple times a day cold. Either way, if it's not soon, it's going to happen eventually. So make sure you get that taken care of and visit our friends at Four Seasons to do so.
Warm up.
They will get you squared away for sure. Visit fourseasonsheatingcooling.com for all their special offers and money-saving coupons. That's fourseasonsheatingcooling.com. Taking a temp. A lot of our chat is talking about Sam Rinzel. And Scott Powers had a note that through the first 2 periods, he played about 7 minutes. Minutes went up in the third, and I don't know if that was like, it's 5-0. So, but he ended 12:40 of ice time, -2. Some are advocating for him to get sent down. I don't know if we're there yet. I think we're just knowing what we know about Jeff Blashill through however many games we're through now.
32.
I would imagine he will sit for a game.
Sit tomorrow?
Maybe. I mean, but the problem is if Tavo's not available tomorrow,
then Slagerton.
Then you have Slaggert and Lafferty in, and Rinzel sits.
Yeah, I mean, sure. At this point, I think if you want to play that card again, the scratch card for Rinzel, I'm fine with that. I think what was this game 29? I think we're getting to a point where if you're only playing him 12 minutes, if that. What is his benefit at this point doing it here? Might as well, I think, if you're trying to build him back up, might as well play the Rockford card. I wouldn't hate that at this point. I know none of us thought we'd get to that point because I think we were really sold on what Rinzel showed his final year of college at Minnesota last year, what he showed in the first 9 games of his career at the end of last season. I think we were all really like encouraged and positive, and he had a good training camp, good preseason, and came into the season looking pretty solid. We thought it was going to kind of continue what he rolled over from the end of last season to the beginning of this year, but it's just kind of fallen off as the season has gone incrementally. And that's what happens with young defensemen. Like, they're going to have ups and downs. But I think when it starts to kind of compound down game after down game after down game, he's getting effectively benched in the third period against, was that the Vegas game? I think it was. Mm-hmm. Last game, like similar situation. This game, if they weren't down 4, 5, 6-0 in the third period, he probably wouldn't have been getting the more important minutes if the game was closer. So I think if you get to a point where you're doing that with a player, even considering you're playing 7 defensemen so you can rotate those guys and use him effectively, I just don't know how much more he's getting out of that being used that way, rather than going down to Rockford, playing top power play, maybe getting penalty kill opportunities and playing 20 minutes. Like, I think that can't hurt him at this stage of the game. And I mean, you'd have to then call up a defenseman, which is probably Kevin Korchinski.
Yeah, I'm ready for it.
And then do you play him? Sure.
You put him on power play too, and make him your power play quarterback, and see what he can do.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not. If that's the switch, I'm totally fine with it.
Yeah, I'm not insisting on it. I think that I trust this coaching staff and front office to have a pretty good feel for what their players are going through and where they're at mentally. But if they said tomorrow, we have called Kevin Korchinski up and sent Sam Rinzel down, it wouldn't shock me in the least. And I know I reference this all the time, but it is a conversation that has stuck with me for years. Is that I was talking to a scout years ago, and it was actually about Kevin Korchinski, and I'm like, this is in his rookie year. I'm like, he doesn't really look bad, but we're not seeing the flashes of anything. And basically what they said was, young defensemen are just hanging on for dear life. And while they might look very calm above the surface, underneath it's like duck feet, right? Like just kicking wildly, just trying to stay afloat. And I'm somewhat concerned that we have reached that place with Sam Rinzel right now. And look, the best thing you can do to get a young guy going is to sending him down feels like a punishment, right? And I can see how Rinzel might take that, but you're going to be the number 1 defenseman down there. You're going to start feeling confident again. Like you said, all the minutes played, power play, penalty kill, rebuild that confidence, rebuild that base with lower stakes, right? We want Rockford to win every night. Rockford wants to win every night. But if Rockford goes on a 5-game losing streak, it's not really the end of the world, because Rockford is there to develop players. And I think Sam Rinzel can be told very, very simply, look, if they decide to send him down, don't think of this as a punishment. You didn't do anything wrong. We just want to get you back to where you were at the end of last year, when people were talking about you as like, you're never playing in Rockford again. You're going to be a Calder Trophy nominee. All these things, that was there. We've all seen that. Jeff Blashill has said it over and over again that Sam Rinzel has been a great defenseman in the NHL before. Yeah. We've seen it. It's happened. It's been there. Sure. Was it a small sample size? Of course, because he's a rookie, right? But it was there. We saw it with our own eyes. It's in there. Maybe the best thing for Rinzel is to go down to Rockford. At worst, or best, worst, whatever you want to say, giving him a night off might be a really good thing for him. Just to deep breath. Things have not been going great. Let's just pump the brakes. Take a look from the press box. But and at some point too, I think you do owe Kevin Korchinski an opportunity. And this could be your chance to say, look, Sam, your minutes are down. Korchinski's doing really well in Rockford. We're going to use this as an opportunity to get him back up here, see what he can do. Trust us, you're coming back. You are big time in our future plans. We see you as a franchise defenseman on this organization. So it's fine. Duncan Keith did it. Brent Seabrook did it. myriad defensemen have played in the American Hockey League and gone on to great careers. So I don't think there's anything to worry about if Rinzel goes down. I don't. Now, if he goes on Rockford and is terrible, which will not happen,
Probably not.
then you have a reason for concern. But look, he is already ahead of schedule. I don't think anyone thought the day he was drafted that he'd be right out of college in the NHL on the top power play for the start of the season, second power play late. No one foresaw that. So a little bit of a blip for a young defenseman, fine.
When he was drafted, it was like, 3 or 4 years before you're even talking about him playing pro.
Right.
And how he developed and how he played at Minnesota fast-tracked all that. So, yeah, this is still part of the learning curve. And no, you can't look at, especially with the way the Blackhawks have operated with the Rockford Ice Hogs in recent years, especially since Kyle Davison took over as GM. You can't look at being sent down to Rockford as punishment. Like, it's there for a reason. It's there for the purpose of development and tuning things so that you can get back up to the NHL, where a lot of the guys that we talk about needing that time, they need it for a reason. They need it so they can unlock what they can be at the NHL level, and Sam Rinzel can do that. And he doesn't have to look far to find examples of it working with this organization. Alex Vlasic did it. Artem Levshinov was down in Rockford, did a little bit of back and forth. Wyatt Kaiser was down in Rockford, did a little bit of back and forth. Like Del Mastro, Allen, Korchinski have all been in the NHL and AHL and have developed their games and grown, and some have come back up and been better players. Look at Wyatt Kaiser. Like, he bounced back and forth a number of times, and then the next time he came up in the NHL, he played like 50 games straight.
Yeah.
And has
maybe their most consistent defenseman.
Yeah,
period.
has been one of their really reliable defensemen all season. So Crevier, again, another guy, back and forth. Is he the seventh defenseman on this team as we went into the season? He's been one of the most reliable and most used defensemen. So it's not that you go down to the AHL and you fall to the pit of obscurity.
No.
You go down to the AHL and you work on games with an eye on coming back up to the NHL, because that's a realistic possibility. It's not the old system of, you go down to Rockford and like, what's wrong with you? Like, no, like, there's reasons that you can go down and fine tune things. So if that's the move that they make with Rinzel, I'm completely fine with it. Because it can be really beneficial. And then I think if you want to give an opportunity to Kevin Korchinski in that same role, completely fine. You bring him up and play him, and you just keep rolling the 11-7 that you've been used to. You don't really have to change much, other than the fact that he plays on the left side where Rinzel's a right side guy. But even then, I think that's one of the minorest of changes that you'd have to make to the defensive rotation.
Yeah. I don't know. It doesn't seem like brain surgery at this point. Just look at the way it's going and make an educated decision. And I know Blashill said, I don't want to rush anything. I don't want to, make any. One of the lessons I learned in Detroit was over adjusting to or overreacting to a bad game or a bad stretch. I think we've got enough evidence here. And a couple of things I want to sort out in the, because of course, anytime there's a loss, people are freaking out. Talking about the Hawks power play and it not working. The Hawks have a top 10 power play in the league. The zone entries are bad. They've got to get better, but it is a successful power play. And I think Artem Levshinov, despite the occasional adventure, has been really, really solid this year.
Yeah. I trust him in the role that he's in on the power play.
And I think those disastrous moments from him have become way less frequent. So look, for a 20-year-old kid on power play 1, I don't think he's the problem with the power play. Now the drop pass thing tonight was bad from everybody. But I think he's even gotten a little better at that. He's used a little more context in that decision. Whereas early in the year, we would see him just full speed go to center ice and then just stop and wait to give it to somebody.
Well, he was almost at the blue line tonight, and the offensive blue line, and turning and dropping it back. And I losing my mind over that stuff, especially when the power play entries were what they were tonight. It just felt like they were just banging their head against the wall, hoping that the wall got softer first. You just got to try something different.
Yeah.
If what you're conditioned to use as your entry system isn't working, try the opposite. Try a dump and chase. Try carrying it when you have speed and you're carrying it up through the neutral zone. Don't stop your momentum. Just take it in. Be the guy that can control the puck. Artem Levshunov is an offensive-minded defenseman. He's offensively gifted. He can handle the puck and skate well. Like we saw it a number of times in the first period where he made a great breakout of the defensive zone and kept going and got a 2-on-1 chance. Like he's an offensive guy. Like I know that they have their system and they have their structure for zone entries. I just wish it wasn't robotically programmed for some of these guys, because when the 3 power plays tonight, zero shots on goal in the power play. That can't happen.
It cannot happen.
That can't happen. You can't have 6 minutes of an advantage and not get anything for it. And the Kings got a shot on goal while shorthanded tonight. Like
that was a hell of a shot too.
Yeah, that cannot happen for a team that has a top 10 power play in the league, 9th in the league going into tonight's game. And when you're fumbling half of your power play time trying to just get into the zone,
they got the
you
first
got
power play.
to change something up.
They got set up with a minute and 3 left on the power play. Is the first time they had the puck in the zone.
Yeah,
that can't happen. I think what you're seeing, like the indecision from Levshunov and Rinzel too, it is we are being coached to do this, and so I've been told I carry the puck up and I drop it back to the forward coming Bedard, or we saw Ryan Green do it a couple times today. It's different people all the time. So that's what I'm going to do. This is what I was coached to do. I'm going to do it. I am very literal because I am young and I want to do the right thing and I don't want to piss the coaches off. It's gotten better from everybody, Levshunov and Rinzel, but like it still can be a little too literal for me. Yeah. But look, again, they've got a top 10 power play. They're in a playoff position. There's no need to completely toss this entire season out because of a loss to the Kings. There's just not. So take a deep breath, hit that like button. We'll be back in 2 minutes on CHGO Blackhawks. You know, it was really hard to shop for around the holidays.
Everybody.
Your parents, your grandparents, they've already got a house full of stuff. China, I don't want that.
You're shopping for China?
It's got no value anymore. Coins, no. You know what they're worth? A quarter. I don't care how old that quarter is. It's worth a quarter. They need good stuff. They need something that's thoughtful. That's where Aura Frames comes in. You can get the Aura Frame, load it with videos, load it with photos. You can load them remotely. So even before the frame arrives, grandma opens it up, plugs it in, boom, it is loaded with photos right out of the box.
Love that.
That's easy. Unlimited photos and videos. It's outstanding. And for a limited time, you can save on an Aura Frame by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off. Their best-selling Carver matte frames, named #1 by Wirecutter. Use our promo code CHGO at checkout. That's auraframes.com with promo code CHGO. This deal is exclusive to our listeners, so hurry up and get them. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey, athletes, I have a question for you.
Yes.
Are you serious about leveling up your game? If the answer is yes, then the right coach can change everything, and finding the right coach is now easier with Eye on the Ball. Doesn't matter if you're a kid just starting out or competing at the top levels, you can sign up totally free at eyeontheball.net. Create your profile, search through coaches in your sport, and connect directly with the ones that are right for you. From soccer to swimming to baseball to basketball to football to hockey, you name it, the coaches are there. Maybe. Go check it out. Go to eyeontheball.net and check out if there are any fencing coaches. What are you waiting for? Your future coach could be one click away. Jump on today at eyeontheball.net. That's eyeontheball.net. Find your coach and take your game to the next level. And coaches, they have a great offer going on right now. You can sign up and get your first 6 months completely free to try it out, grow your coaching profile, and find the next athletes you're going to take to the top.
All right, we're back, and Jeff Blashill is standing by waiting for us to go to him. So let's go right to him, courtesy of the Chicago Blackhawks.
Out to Jeff in the field.
We talk about it. This is an everyday league. Is this kind of game a reminder of that? Yeah, and I think, I mean, if you really look at the game, I actually thought we came out, played really good in the first, and, but didn't get rewarded. We had the 2-on-1 with Dono, had some other almost probably close looks. I would give them credit because as good as we were playing, they still didn't give up. I think the chances were still only 4-4 at the end. But I did think we were playing really well. Stuff in game happens. Momentum wise, obviously, you give up 3 early or 3 right away there in the second. Not right away, 3 over a short time period. That's hard to crawl back from. Then it got away from us in the third. So we got to have a meeting tomorrow, learn from this game, and go try to win a hockey game tomorrow.
Second periods have been a problem earlier this year, not as much the past few weeks. Do you see anything related to that? No,
I mean, again, I didn't think through, I thought through parts of the second were fine. We give up a goal on a kind of nothing play where it's a 1-on-2, they enter the zone, then we turn it over, it's in our net, then it's a PK, boom, it's 2-0 right away. And then unfortunately at the end of the period, we give that one up. So, listen, our seconds through the course of the season haven't been good enough. I don't think that's been a huge issue lately, but we just got to keep, I'm more focused on the whole process, not just the one period.
This, other than it's this in Buffalo, really only games that like this. We used to see a lot of these games like that. Is it? Can you take that kind of solace that this is not happening very often? I mean, every team just has a bad night every now and then.
Yeah, I mean, this stuff happens. I will say this. This compared to the Buffalo game, I think are 2 different animals, to be honest with you, because I thought we played really, really well, and then it just got away from us. With the Buffalo, from the drop of the puck, they were the better team, and we never had anything going that night. It's I think if we score early, it could be a different game. If we score on our power play, it could be a different game. Because we were fine, and then momentum matters, and they got the momentum, and we just couldn't grab it back.
Those power plays seem to lose a lot of momentum.
Yeah, they did. Their Kill's done the best job in the league over the last 10 games of kind of denying entries, and they did an excellent job on us, and so we got to do a better job in those areas. We had a couple unforced errors on the power play. That's when we struggle, that seems to be our Achilles heel on the power plays. We kind of give pucks away, and then now it's hard to get back in the zone.
You moved already up to the first pairing, and he did have a couple nice breakouts, even if it wasn't a perfect game. What went into that, and what did you see from that?
Yeah, we did it yesterday, and he played 2 days ago, the first game against LA, and he just him and Vlas had played good together. It kind of gives us a guy with Vlas on one pairing, a guy with Krebs on another, a guy with Merv, kind of some size on each pairing. So we were hoping they had good chemistry. I thought they played pretty well the other night. I thought they had moments of good tonight. I already probably had an up and down game. He did some good stuff and did some things he's going to have to learn from, and that's kind of, where I thought a number of our D were like that, and that's kind of what happens at times with our team. And it's a little bit, it's a little bit to do certainly with the age, but the other side of it is they just got to keep learning. If I'm saying this 3 years from now, we'll all be disappointed. So let's make sure we keep learning and from these types of mistakes.
Do you remind them that this is the last time they'll see Kopitar, or is that player initiated?
Player initiated. Yeah, player initiated. Yep.
All right, that's Jeff Blashill, courtesy of the Blackhawks. If you missed that last part, the Blackhawks did stay on the ice to shake hands with Anze Kopitar.
That was a cool moment.
Very cool. And Blashill saying that was a player decision to do that, which is nice. You saw Connor Murphy was the first guy there. Dickinson, Burakovsky were, I think, the first 3 Hawks on the scene to shake his hand, and the entire team went up to Anze Kopitar and congratulated him on a great career, and rightfully so.
Maybe
Kopitar
is awesome. Not the last time handshake line between these two teams this season. Maybe
that would be fun.
Well, maybe
that'd be a lot of fun.
Let's see.
Yeah, definitely.
Hearing from Blashill, my feelings are vindicated of this game because he brought up the Buffalo game, and yeah, I mean, I feel like this team scoring first is dangerous. This team giving up the first goal is tough. The Blackhawks I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. It's tough for them to kind of get going after that, allowing the first goal. So landing the first punch for them is very important. And you come out of the first period, you feel pretty good. And then the second period, Kings score early, and then you're kind of chasing from that point. So I think, and I like his comment there at the end too, if we're still learning these lessons 3 years from now, it's a huge disappointment. But yeah. I think right now you're learning these lessons that might not even, I mean, they might not carry into game 60 of this season. Like, they might be beyond it by then, but I think this is something that the third youngest team in the NHL is going to go through, especially guys that, as we talk about Rinzel, like, you also think about Moore and Ryan Green, and like, these are guys that the most games that they've played in a single like hockey calendar season, 50, 60.
Yeah.
Like, if you count World Juniors and stuff like that, like, these guys haven't played a full slog of NHL hockey yet. So there's a lot of getting used to the day in and day out. There's a lot of getting used to the energy, the everyday league that it is that we keep hearing about from this team. Like, it takes some getting used to that transition from, I'm in college, I'm in junior, to I'm in the NHL. So it's a lesson learning night.
I just I'm trying not to let that chat influence the show, but it is really cheeks tonight, as the kids say.
Buns.
Did you not expect this team to have games like that this year? Like, what are we talking about?
My mother told me there'd be days like these.
Like, this is exactly what everyone thought this season. Actually, let me correct that. No one thought this season was going to be as good as it's been.
Yeah.
They are in a playoff spot. They have a top 10 power play. Where are they in the penalty kill? Pretty damn good, too.
Let me check.
Right? Like, did you not think there were going to be nights where one of the youngest teams in the NHL didn't look good?
5th penalty kill in the league coming into tonight.
Okay. 5th best penalty kill. 9th best power play in a playoff spot. And we've got people talking about selling, and these kids aren't going to pan out, and just trying to reevaluate this whole thing. What? What are we talking about? And Fire Nico says, are we not supposed to react this way when we lose 6-0? It's called context. It's called context. It's the context of the season. It's the context of the roster. The head coach, whose livelihood depends on this team succeeding, flat out told you, like, we had a good start and we just sort of lost our way and we'll move on. They just beat the same team 2 nights ago. They beat the Ducks 4 nights ago. Mm-hmm. They took Vegas to overtime, lost in a shootout, which is a coin flip. Mm-hmm. Did those not happen? Did those games not happen?
No, they did.
Like, it's ridiculous. And I feel like it's trolls, and I really hate blocking people. But you know what? It's my birthday week. So I think I might just get a couple people I really don't like on this chat blocked.
Sure.
That might be my birthday gift to myself.
Yeah.
Especially when they're creating multiple accounts to talk to themselves and pat themselves on the back. Go touch grass. Or touch something else, as Greg would say. And that would get clipped and put on the internet with no context.
Well, find some grass.
Yes. Go touch snow.
There's a lot of snow out there. If you're in the local area.
By the way, putting an inflatable Christmas decoration, staking that through snow, can't recommend.
Yeah, I wouldn't imagine that would go well.
Did not go well. Yeah, it was rough.
I'm sure even if you got through the ice, the ground was pretty hard.
Yes, not great. And then part of me, I forgot that the back part of my, like where my lawn meets my bushes is stone. I'm like, why can't I get the fucking thing? Oh yeah, it's rocks. That's right. It's rocks. I can't get it through rocks. But I got my little, my inflatable Highland cow up today.
You got to get your decorations up before the snow gets there.
Yeah. Anyway.
That's what I did.
Sorry. I derailed. I lost control. It got away. I had a good start and it got away from me.
You were baited by the rage.
I pulled the Blackhawks. Yeah. Oh well. What are we gonna do?
It's fine. Look, I get people being upset at the 6-0 loss and thinking the sky is falling.
Just the same people are going to come in here and do the same thing they do after every loss. You can count on it. There's the loss crowd and the win crowd, and the loss crowd can't wait to come in here and have their negative, cynical opinions verified after a loss.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, we're speaking from the perspective of, we're coming in every day.
Yep.
Watching every game, watching every practice, talking to players, talking to coaches. I think at this point in CHGO's life, I feel like I think we do a pretty good job, I'd say, of keeping things in perspective of an 82-game season. And this is a different territory than Hawks fans have been in and we've been in the last couple of years, where we're hinging on results where points matter. and where performances matter and finer points of things matter. And we're balancing that with this team is way above expectations, and there's still a lot of growing pains to go through. There's still a lot of adjustments to go through with these young players. And we've been excited, we've been encouraged, and we've gotten used to seeing some wins. So we want to see more. So when you get a game like this where, you by midway through the third period, you're shrugging your shoulders and being like, it just isn't going to happen tonight. It's hard to kind of let that go, let it roll off the shoulders, roll off the back, and move on to the next game, when we're just like, no, but we're supposed to. Every game is supposed to matter. So why does this? I think it's hard.
But
it's hard to swallow that.
It can't be all the prospects suck, but how do they lose 6-0?
Well, yeah.
It can't be this Kyle Davidson plan is trash and Blashill's an idiot and has lost a room.
I'm gonna say,
but then you're mad about a 6. It can't be both.
Okay,
it can't be both.
What I'm gonna say is, I feel like most level-headed people and most people who have been viewing this Blackhawks team for the last number of years have quieted down those kinds of thoughts and opinions and feelings, and the people who are a shrinking number. And as we talked about in the pregame with what Mark Lazarus and Kyle Davidson talked about, and Mark wrote for The Athletic, and in that interview, is just like the rebuild plan for the long haul has been working, and how Kyle Davidson has kind of set things up for this organization moving forward is going in the right direction. And they're building from within. Sam Rinzel is part of that. Kevin Korchinski is part of that. Guys who aren't even here yet are part of that, with Lardis and Kanserov and Frondell and Boisvert and so on and so forth, Van Acker, multiple first-round picks, all this stuff. Like, that's all still on the way. So this is still a team that is building upwards, and it's not linear. It's not a straight, incline all the way up from lottery pick to Stanley Cup. Like, it's going to have its ups and downs, but I think especially this season, there have been more ups and downs, and that's the way the arrow is pointing. So I just think that if you can look at games as individual entities, but then what we try and do, I would say, in post-game shows, is also scale it back or scale it out and be like, okay, this loss in and of itself is one thing, but this loss in the grand scheme of the season, in the grand context of the season, it becomes a different story. So I think there's still some unwinding of the mindset of just like, every loss is terrible and this team is tanking and all this. Like, there's still some unwinding doing from the last few seasons of that.
Yeah, I just, it is our job to come on here and be the level-headed ones. And, like, I should not let the chat get to me, but it's in my face the entire time we do the show. And it's kind of hard. No, you don't have to take it off. It's fine. And we're not actually blocking anyone. It's just,
there's only been one time where we've not had a chat for this show, and it's for much different reasons.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm in control.
Yeah.
Chloe's
Chloe
fully in control of the show tonight.
Chloe's got the band hammer.
Yeah.
I haven't blocked anyone.
That's it. Yeah. So look, we knew that there were going to be moments in any young team's development where there's going to be blowouts. I mean, didn't the Sharks lose 7-0 the other night?
Probably
7-1.
That sounds
didn't
right.
The Ducks just lost 7-0?
Sure.
The
Avs lost the game in regulation. Anything is possible, guys. It's there's as far as I know, no team has gone 82-0 in the NHL.
That's true.
So
Avalanche tried though.
It's gonna ebb and flow, and a lot of people have given Jeff Blashill a lot of flowers this season for his demeanor across the board. He's not riding the waves of the winds at their peaks, and he's not sunken down in the valleys of this season. He's a guy that keeps it pretty even, whether they're winning or losing. He can have yucks and chuckles when "Come On Eileen" plays over the speakers during his pregame presser, and he can dive into the 6-7 thing, but he can also lay it down of like, this effort was horrible tonight, unacceptable, and guys are going to feel it the next time they practice.
And no one is saying you should be happy or satisfied with a 6-0 loss. I mean, we started the show by listing the several things that went wrong in this game, right? But I don't think that this loss indicates anything. I don't feel differently about this team after tonight than I did after the win over the Kings or the win over the Ducks.
Mm-hmm.
They're about a 500 team. And it's going to be win, win, loss, loss, win, loss, win, win, loss, loss, win, loss, 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 win, 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 loss. That's what this team is. That's going to be the song.
It's going to be stuck in my head forever.
Right? And there'll be shootout loss in there, but that throws the rhythm off every now and again, right? But that's what a 500 team is. It's exactly where they are. It's exactly how they're playing. And 6-0, 2-0, 1-0, it is. There's no bigger loss of points than 2, regardless of the score. So that's what I'm saying. When I'm
that
saying
leads nicely
up,
into our conversation about the
it.
3-point system.
No, yeah, right. But it's just like that's what I'm saying. It doesn't. At the end of the day, tonight is not going to dictate whether or not this thing works out or not, or if Jeff Blashill works out. It's a crap loss. They played like crap.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. Bad. 100%. It's over. They play again in a few hours, and we'll be here for it. So anyway, and Chloe's going to be here running the show without the watchful eye of Sarah.
If something goes wrong,
there's going to be
know.
a lot of people here. It's just who's going to be dedicated to helping us.
Yeah, we have Bears, Packers, post, and oh boy, if the Bears lose tomorrow, not that they're going to. I picked them to go 17-0. Did I not pick them to go 17-0?
You did.
Thank you. I believe they're going to win every game. You want to talk about a nightmare chat? Woo-wee.
I mean, I think the Bears have a nightmare chat.
No
No matter what.
They might have a nightmare chat.
From what I've heard from our diehards in the Discord that also dabble in the Bears Discord, it's a war zone over there. Win or lose.
Not great.
So, yeah.
Great.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. But should be a fun day tomorrow. I'm looking forward to the food. And the football and the hockey and the basketball.
It's going to be fun.
It's a busy day tomorrow.
Everyone's going to be here tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I'm coming in early to watch the Bears game here.
Nice.
So that'll be fun. All right, let's hear from Jason Dickinson, and then we'll put a little bow on this show. Here he is, courtesy of the Hawks.
With his shiner.
Yep.
There's a few areas that we obviously gave up. I felt like we let them get behind us a few too many times, and then we gave them some easy ice in our zone that led to a lot of extended zone time that just kind of creates a snowball effect that is hard to mitigate.
It's a team that's still learning, obviously, and sometimes that gets lost because you've been playing well and you've been winning games, but this is a reminder that, this is still a work in progress here.
Yeah, sure. I mean, every game in the NHL is got its own challenges, and it's a new day. So, Blash has been trying to preach to us that this is an everyday league. Young guys, obviously, it's much more pertinent to them that they learn that. But this is one of those days that it got away from us, and we get to come back tomorrow, thankfully, and learn right away to say, this didn't work, this is what we need to be better at, go out and do it. And now we all get a chance to go and do it.
There haven't been many games like this year, too. I mean, it's only the third time all year you've been trailing by more than a goal after the second period. Can you look at that as a positive in the big picture?
Yeah, absolutely.
It used to happen a little more often.
Yep, yes it did. I was a part of a few of those, so it's nicer that these are few and far between. I'd still obviously like to minimize them. I'd love to be in all these games, but these happen, and the best part about it is that they're a learning opportunity. As long as we take it for what it is, then there's some value in it.
Best part about it is also you got the first one, so that helps to get that out of the way, right?
Yeah, I mean, we can walk out of this road trip feeling good about what we did. It's not like we feel good about losing a game and still having a chance to be happy about the road trip. But at the end of the day, you walk out of a road trip with 2-1-1. You did a good job. That's what you're meant to do on the road. You go in there. Sometimes they're gritty, sometimes they're ugly, and if you get the job done, nobody cares. Nobody asks questions. It's done.
He wasn't perfect tonight, but Levshnov had a couple of really nice exits out of the D zone. What have you seen from him kind of growing and getting more comfortable and predictable?
Yeah, well, one of the hardest things for a young player, and I can't exactly speak for a defenseman, but I can assume for a defenseman, is being confident going and picking up a puck and making the play. You got guys bearing down on you that can skate just as well as you. You've got guys that, fourth line, first line, it doesn't matter. They can all check the way that NHL players check, It's a little different than college. You can get a little bit of separation on a younger guy, a guy that doesn't know what he's doing. Guys miss their checks. It doesn't happen at this level. So for Artie, the big thing is to learn that he's got great legs, he's strong, and he can out-muscle guys. And the more he keeps doing that, the more he's going to learn where his spacing is to do those sorts of things. And like you said, he created a couple exits because he's strong on the puck. He uses his legs, and he trusts himself to get himself out of tight spots because he is a strong kid that can do those things.
I'm not going to see you here for the rest of the year, so I'm just curious about your thoughts on Connor's chances to be an Olympic team and what he's meant to you guys and how it's so different a year later.
Yeah, I think it goes without saying Connor is the most valuable player on our team, maybe next to Nighty. Nighty's been playing lights out for us, so Connor's put himself in the conversation. That's something he had to do. It wasn't given to him. It wasn't something that a lot of people were talking about. I think a lot of people had written him off on the Olympic team, to be honest with you. But he has definitely raised his game. He's brought a level of intensity that I think he's turning heads and making them have to think about him as an option because, he's a hell of a player. And to have a guy like that sitting on the sidelines, it really sucks that we can't put 2 Canadian teams out there.
All right, that's Jason Dickinson, courtesy of the Blackhawks. And I got to say, he is like the vibe check. Because when he did not, I was expecting him to be pretty pissed after this one. Yeah. And he was clearly unhappy and unsatisfied and wants it to be better. But he just kind of did the shrug thing too. Like, let's learn from it. We got a chance to learn from it tomorrow. His demeanor kind of dictates to me like, all right, how should I feel after this one, right?
Right.
Like, because he's got a really good sense of the team. He's been here through a lot of these ups. Mostly downs, but the ups, the rise as well. He's been through a lot personally, injury wise and everything. So whenever I see Jason Dickinson feel like, one of those days, kind of verifies the way I was feeling about things.
Yeah, absolutely. I like hearing from him. He's a guy that I think is going to give you a lot of more depth of insight to how the team is playing and what they need to work on and what they're doing right. So, it's always nice when we get to hear from Jason Dickinson.
Yes. All right, Game Pucks. We have a new entrant to the Game Puck world. It is number 11, Oliver Moore, with his first Game Puck as an NHL player. So congrats to Oliver Moore.
Do the picture with the puck?
Yes,
holding it
literally
up.
A game puck, a CHGO game puck. So him, Ryan Green, Sam Lafferty, Colton Dock, and Canucks legend Lucas Reichel all have 1. Burakovsky and Levchinov with 2. You got 3 from Bertuzzi. You have 6 from Bedard and 8 from Spencer Knight. So that is your count right now for game pucks. So some work to do for Oliver Moore.
His first, definitely not going to be his last, I'll say.
I'll agree with that.
The way he's played in some games, very noticeable, even when he's not on the score sheet.
Yes.
You need players that are going to do that. Get on the score sheet too, Oliver.
Yes. You know what? My prediction was incorrect. I thought the vibe today was going to be that they should have started Arvid Soderblom over Spencer Knight. We had not seen that until just now with Gotta Domer. I hope I said that right.
Gotta do more.
Gotta do more, maybe? Yeah. 2020 hindsight, but Soda should have gotten a start tonight. Go look at the splits between Spencer Knight and Soderblom against LA. Spencer Knight is sub 2 goals against and like a 95 save percentage against the Kings. Now that will go down tonight.
Sure, yeah.
Or up, whatever you want to call it.
Down. Down.
But no, I mean
this. I know it's been a long time since we've had a number 1 starting goaltender, but this is how you use them. You play them 3 of 4, 4 of 5, and you play them in tough matchups. So you pick your poison. Kings, when they're gonna have when they're gonna have something to prove, or Ducks when they're gonna have something to prove against this Blackhawks team. One or the other.
Yes.
You play them tonight and they lose. Should have played Soderblom. You play them tomorrow and they lose. He should have played against the Kings. You could say it for both.
Yeah.
But it's Spencer Knight. He's clearly your starter. He's clearly your best goaltender. He's the guy that you're going to go to more often than not. So that's how you play him. You don't rotate 50-50 with a guy like him. You play him as much as you can, and as much as his energy level is going to let you do it.
And just a little bit of note for context, the Minnesota Wild, who we all agree are a pretty good team.
Decent.
In 3 of the last 4 games, the Wild have lost to the last place team in the East, Buffalo, and at the time, the 32nd place team in the NHL, Calgary, and they lost tonight to the now 32nd team in the NHL, Vancouver. So it happens to everybody.
Wow.
That's all we're saying. All right, we are going to
Maybe
be
the Wild
back
should sell.
tomorrow. What time's the game?
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock, 6:30 pregame. We will be here, hopefully, celebrating a Bears win and a Hawks win and a Bulls win. It'll be a great day at CHGO. We hope you'll be here as part of it. We'll talk to you then on the CHGO Blackhawks podcast.
We all silly like the mayor.